right, so this is a part 2 video of how it is that I deal with aging. The first video that I made on this is just anti-aging tips, so if you want to go watch that video, that's part 1. But in this video, it's just going to be a sit-down chit-chat on what it is that my perspective is on being in your 30s, especially being in your 30s as a stripper. You don't have to be a stripper to watch this video. There's going to be a lot of things that you probably can still relate to. All right, so let me guess. By this age, you were supposed to have already met your soulmate and been married and have 3.5 kids and live on 12 acres of land and be retired. Like, is that why we're all sad? Is it the actual aging part, or is it that we didn't accomplish enough in our 20s? Were your 20s really that great? Were they really good? There's got to be somebody out there that had an amazing 20s. I personally did not like my 20s. I was just binge drinking. And I was like, oh, I'm young. Here, let me give you guys like a little example of what my 20s were like. So I turned 20 and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to turn 21 so I can legally drink. Boom, turn 21. And I'm on this whole like cocky-ish because I'm so young, right? And I'm just like drinking and I'm still dancing and I'm making my money and I'm like, boo, 30-year-old women, you old... I swear to God, that was my attitude. And then next thing I know, it's like, boom, 23, boom, 25. All right, so we're at 25. I'm not, screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm so young anymore, all right? The teenager mentality has kind of started fading because it feels like the outside of our bodies get a lot older faster than our minds. Because even as a 31-year-old woman, I'm super immature. And it's not just me, guys. It's not just me. I see the men, the women. It's not just my profession. It's not just my industry. This is just like something that nobody talks about, guys. We don't grow up that much in here. We just change out here. I'm 25 and I'm like, okay, by this time, I was supposed to hang up my high heels, but I'm still not like, I'm still not 30. I'm still not 30, so I got time. And then I had a game plan that I was going to quit dancing at 27 because God forbid that I would dance into my 30s. Yeah. Got married, had the kid. Let me tell you guys something. It doesn't always go as planned. It doesn't always go as planned. Life doesn't always go as planned, all right? So the next thing I know, I quit dancing because I was like, this should be the time that I stop. And then when I went back to regular life, that's when I realized, I was like, yeah, we're going back home. Give mommy her heels back. Okay. I knew at that point that I was like, okay, like now I have permission to not feel like I am here to prove myself to other people. Like I'm past that. And I hate that it took me this long to sit down with myself and be like, what people expect from me is not my problem. To be real with myself and to realize that no matter who you are, how great you are, or what you do, there's always going to be somebody that's running their mouth. And at the same time, really just think about that if somebody has the time to be like honestly like criticizing you, that says more about them than it does about you. They could really, really be doing something else with their time. Or they could just really, really be a better person and treat you better. Nobody has it all figured out. Okay? Nobody has it all figured out. Another thing about being in my 30s is that at this point, I'm like, I'm giving myself permission to not overextend myself. I need to pick me over anybody else. I was working. I was keeping up with the house, and not even just like keeping up with the house. I'm talking about like 3-course meals, like 3 times a day, laundry, like keeping the place clean, the kids' hair like perfectly in place. For what? Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. It's not that serious. It's really not that serious. And again, like I said earlier, if somebody's like talking about you, criticizing you, then that says more about them than it does about you. If someone goes out of their way, because If you have ever gone through what they call a slander campaign, F all that noise. F all that noise. When someone goes out of their way to slander you and just drag your name through the mud because you're not fitting into their little box, straight up, fuck you. If someone ever makes you feel like shit about yourself because you're 30 and because you're in a line of work, or because you're not acting like a perfect Barbie doll for them, fuck them, you guys. You're not a child anymore. Seriously, own your shit. Don't let what other people are saying about you turn into your internal narrative. Like, get a life. Like, let them do or say whatever it is that they want, and just focus on what it is that you need to do. And every job is a noble job. I don't care what anybody says. You are taking time out of your life so that you can make money and use this as a stepping stone. Morals are only opinions, guys. Morals are only opinions. So really think about that. If you're getting criticized by somebody that's your age because you're not doing the same thing as them, oh well. If you're getting criticized by somebody that's older than you, that's not your problem. And if you're getting criticized by somebody that's younger than you, that's not your problem either. You are literally allowed to like yourself. You are allowed to make your own decisions. You're allowed to do things without other people's permission. You didn't come this far to get permission from other people about what it is you can or cannot do. No, let's stop, guys. It's gotta stop. Don't feel rushed into these imaginary deadlines. They don't exist. These deadlines do not exist. And if anybody is like, oh, you can't strip forever. You guys, did you know that you can't do any job forever? That there will come a point where no matter what the job is, you're going to get too old to work. Look, if we're gonna think of things that way, if we're gonna think of things in this way, right? Like, oh, they're thinking, first of all, these people are thinking, and they're talking about like 15, 20 years down the road, okay? They're talking about stuff that doesn't even effing matter. And are they even telling you this because they genuinely care about you? Like, do you think that this is coming from a good place when someone's like, you can't do this forever? Like, sit down and think about it. Like, do you really care about me, or are you just being an asshole? And they're also talking about like 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You guys, if we're going to talk about things that haven't happened yet, realistically, you could die tomorrow. You can die in 5 minutes in a car accident. You could die. You could go to the doctors and get, we're not doing this whole like coulda, shoulda, woulda, you can't in the future. Like, shut up. Shush. Let grown-ass women do whatever the hell they want. Stop telling grown-ass women what it is they can and cannot do. How does that sound? You don't have to be in your 30s to do this. Or if you're in any guy, fuck the industry. We're not talking about the industry anymore. You guys, make sure that when people are talking smack, that they're talking smack, okay? Have a fuck off fund, okay? This is your little pot, all right? You got it right here. I talked about fuck off funds in another one of my videos. You guys, this is not planning for bad things. This is a just in case. Just in case, fuck this job. Just in case, fuck my husband. Just in case, fuck my boyfriend, my baby daddy. Just in case, fuck this state. If for any reason you need to pick up your stuff and you want to go, you can do it. Don't be stuck, all right? That is one thing that I'm going to say. At this age, we're doing what we want because we want to do it, not because we have to. Don't quit something because you feel like you have to. If you want to quit something, you quit because that's what you want to do. I promise you that there is more choices to life other than being somebody's wife or a crazy cat lady. You can do other things. You can do other things. Also, this whole thing that like a man will never settle down with you or a good man will never want nobody like you, that's not true. It's just not true. It's really not true. Also, watch out for the guys that don't respect women in our line of work. That's a huge red flag. That is a huge red flag. And we can get into that in another video. If you're single, it's okay. If you're still working in this line of work, it's okay. If you don't own a home, it's okay. If you're not married, it's okay. If you don't have kids, if you don't want kids, it's okay. If you choose to stay in this because that's what you want to do, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Just don't go to bed at night and beat yourself up over this stupid crap just because you're now in your 30s. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really rambling here. I'm not sure if I made the point that I wanted to make. Again, wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, take care of yourself. That's number one. Yeah, be nice to yourself and don't listen to what anybody else says. If somebody is younger than you talking smack, they're gonna get here one day if they're lucky. Honestly, if you're lucky, you'll be my age one day. And if you're older than me and you're talking smack, then you probably wish you were my age. And if you're my age and you're talking smack, girl, take care of yourself. Boy, bye.